And for the last 4 years, these Mujahideen operators, Indian Mujahideen operators, have not been brought to trial.
Okay.
I don't want to go into the Batala House incident again and what all the august personalities, the kind of allegations they made. You put the security forces on the back foot, and today you have paid with the lives of 18 innocent Indians and 130 wounded. I think somebody should now own up to this kind of a campaign of calumny and slander against our security forces, and these so-called do-gooders. The so-called do-gooders and human rights, who are trying to get the brownie points in Europe. I mean, the way they have put our operation, stymied our operation, who is to answer for that? Who is to answer for the politicization of our very, very sensitive counter-terrorist operations?
Okay, Kiran Kher, the government says, and we heard from Rahul Gandhi today, he said it's not possible to stop all terror attacks. You can stop 99% of them, but you can't stop all of them. Is he just stating facts, or do you think that was a very inappropriate, insensitive, badly timed comment?
Firstly, Rahul, I would like to condemn these dastardly attacks. Not wanting to politicize them, one is still forced to say that I agree with what General Saab just said, completely and absolutely. And this is a matter of policy, not just intelligence gathering. And the fact that Mr. Chidambaram says they had no intelligence means that our intelligence agencies have been weakened and their freedom has been curtailed. To get intelligence of this sort, you have to infiltrate these groups. You have to have the freedom to be able to find out. You have to mingle with them. They have consistently come down so heavily on encounter specialists who had finished the underworld in Mumbai. It is now resurfacing. Their soft policies on terror, on removing laws like TADA and POTA, which they call draconian, at the same time trying to bring in the most draconian bill, the anti-communal bill, which if tomorrow somebody like the Indian Mujahideen were to go in and start riots, would let them go scot-free and put the majority in the dock. And what Mr. Rahul Gandhi said, I would say was extremely inappropriate, immature and insensitive at this point.
Anil Dharkar, the government's response seems to be, we can't keep you safe all the time. It's simply not possible in a country like India. For 31 months, there's been no attack in Mumbai. That seems to have been projected as an accomplishment. Is that a statement of fact, or do you believe that was an inappropriate, badly timed comment?
Well, I think it was badly timed, but what he said is very true. You can quibble with the timing. I think at this time you shouldn't be saying things like this. You should be sympathizing with the victims and commiserating with the people who've been affected. But certainly, I don't think that you can stop these attacks because they are indiscriminate. There are no targets. India is a very, very, very crowded place. A place like Bombay and certain areas of Bombay are so crowded. You can easily place a bomb there. Anyone can place a bomb, and it can go off. And how do you stop this? I don't think any agency in the world can stop this.
General Bakshi wants to respond to what you're saying, General Bakshi.
I think the essence of the problem has been highlighted here. We have adopted a totally reactive, defensive defense stance. There is no country in the world which can protect every single target. You start defending one type of targets, they'll start switching to somebody else. The problem is the offensive component, the proactive component. For the last 30 years, our government, the Indian Republic has totally adopted a reactive stance strategically, tactically to Pakistan.
Let's get Abhishek Singhvi to respond to that. Those who don't learn from mistakes are condemned to repeat it. The Prime Minister saying today we will leave no stone unturned in ensuring that terrorist elements in India are neutralized and smashed. The problem lies outside. The government talks about Pakistani terrorist camps which are operating in POK, and yet all we do to stop them is give dossiers to Islamabad.
I hope you will give me sufficient time to respond to a range of opinion. I think the crucial point was made just a while ago. In a country like India, for anybody to remotely suggest, and that's the fundamental fallacy of the premise which I've heard just now, that the moment there is an attack, A, there is a failure of intelligence, B, you ought to have known, and C, the government is incompetent. I think there is something to be said for the fact that we have had a remarkable reduction. This is a terrible tragedy, but there is no foolproof magic button to prevent it. There is a lot of things we are doing to catch it after the event and also to prevent it. But sometimes these things happen. Now, the most important point is that if you every time start alleging that there is a intelligence failure, you are incompetent. I do not know how many times, and I don't want to say it as a point scoring point. I'm saying this because this is the reality, the fallacy of the argument. I don't know how many times the BJP government and the Mr. Advani should have resigned with Pota during Raghunath Mandir, during Akshardham, during Parliament attack. What happened? Ms. Kiran Kher's party, to which she belongs, at that time forgot all these arguments.